Yeah, Eli. Most Jolly thing turn up so loud. The Jabby praise I know is just moving through. Genesis 2 in 1, yes, and in 2, the Kudusan, yes, moving through and through. Eli, the Most High just for a year. Yes, I ascending through Genesis 2 and 1. We do give thanks, Eli. See, last, yeah, man, yeah, well, it's the fucking judgment, yeah? Well, Eli, Zilla, say Eli, and then I. Yes, and your twin brother. And I twin Ja. Yeah, with an yes, I don't know. My twin, I don't know. Blessed I. Yeah, the eye, Emperor, the eye. Philosia, because we already know is one goodie, so we still have to give thanks, yes, but we give thanks for the odd day over and I self-fastly stuff, Father Makane, the son of Jah. Oh, yes, because and I father in that generation is King of Zion, King of the North, Michael of Wallo, Michael Makonnen, the grandfather of Menen Asfa, yes, who became Walata Georges, Empress Menenai, Empress Walata Georges. Yes, he is Jah. He is the Christ before his Christ child. This is how it was back in the days in Egypt. The father would be the king and the god on the throne of Amen, Osiris, myself, or Isis, yes. And then you already know there's other thrones that came out of that throne, like the throne of Aine Father. And actually the first throne is Aine Father throne, Aine Father Gib. Yes, and then I throne, yes, was within his throne, but within his throne there are 30 thrones. It is a triple crown and a triple throne. So therefore the prophet, the priest, and the king are in the throne of Iron Father. And then 2 thrones came out of that. This is the priest and the prophet throne. And the prophet, the priest throne, in that order, the prophet and then the priest. Yeah, what we say prophet, priest, and king in that order. For that is the order. Most naturally, and so therefore the father would sit on the throne of Osiris, and therefore he would become me. Oh yes, as a little boy, because he was born from me, from my loins. Yes, I and I descendant from I and I as the Amen. Coming all the way down the line. Oh yes, coming all the way down the line. We no forget Noah, we no forget Abraham, we no forget Enoch, we no forget Methuselah, we no forget Isaac, Jacob. Yes, it is one throne. So their offspring, one of them became the heir to the throne, which means that their son became the son of God. This is how it was in Egyptian, Ethiopian times before we move out and then we change our identity because many things happen, such as the Hyksos. The Hyksos are truly the Israelites that settled in the land of Goshen during the time of Joseph. The days of Joseph, when Joseph went to Egypt and became the prince of Egypt, he brought his people, Lionite people, the Israelites, Hebrew Cushitic Israelites, from the land that they were staying. It was somewhere else in Ethiopia, and they forward over to Egypt because they did not have to cross any waters. The large caravan, all these children and animals, livestock. And now they bring gifts to Egypt to the king, to Joseph, because Joseph take over. Yeah, you notice every time Joseph becomes very close to the rulers and the leaders. Yes, I get into that later. What I am saying is that the Hyksos is the new name for the Israelites because Simeon and Levi conspired, and so did their clans, and other clans conspired to exterminate the Egyptians because Hamar he was the son of an Egyptian. Or is it Sheshem? Sheshem and Hamor. But Ham was a prince of Egypt, you understand, and he fell in love with Dinah and Mama Dinah, yes, daughter of Jacob. Yes, most natural. And Leah, or is it Rachel's daughter? It is Rachel's daughter. Yeah. Well, for these, the Israelites' name was like, it was cursed, meaning any of the Egyptians within the Egyptian provinces where they were staying, and they were sojourning through these provinces before they found their way to, that region in Egypt where Joseph was, you know. So what we are saying is that the name Israel was cursed. Them find out about it, they want to kill off these people. This is why when they came there, they did not tell the people who they were. They were known as the Hyksos. You see what I'm saying? And then who led the Hyksos out of bondage after Joseph's day? Akhenaten. Father. Akhenaten is Amenhotep the fourth. Amenhotep the third is Moses. That is his identity, his true identity. He was a prince in Egypt. What was his name? Amenhotep the third. And he had a son. This is according to Egyptian history, and this is how I prove to you that Joshua, who they call the son of Nun, which is the Kemetan word for the black space, the melanated zodiac, this is what it is called. It is called Nun, the waters above. So it's like saying the son of the heavens, Joshua, which means the Messiah, the Savior from the heavens. This is how they trick you with the names. Like the name Gamaliel, Gamaliel means the Lord is my reward. You see what I'm saying? Most naturally, the Lord is my reward. You see? Anyways, the Hyksos are the Israelites under a new name and identity, and Amenhotep the third is Moses, and Akhenaten the first, aka Amenhotep the fourth, myself, of that day is Joshua, whose real name is Eleazar. And I had a brother, he was my twin cousin. He was the son of Adam, and his name is also Eleazar. Yes, that is the sister Kalanji and myself of that day. You see. Eliad almost had Rastafari. Since so, it's a bigger judgment. Everything have to do with Egypt. You see what is happening to Shitali and those Giddis balls. The Shitalians and the Giddis balls. Yes, this is because they conquered Egypt for the longest. 306 years. 600 years for Italy, 300 years for Greece. What a judgment, eh? What a bigger judgment, eh? That is a long time. That is a very, very, very long time. Yeah. So you see what is going on over there. You see what is going on over there. Yeah. They're going to get the judgment. I tell you. Now listen, Rastafari. Those two lands, Rome and Greece. Okay? Those fuckers, yeah? Those shitters. They are the biggest enemies to Ethiopia, Africa, Egypt, I, Black, Iberico, pardon the race from those times. It is those two nations specifically that cause the most problems for I nation. You see. Yes. Yes. So Italy, you occupied her for about 600 years, Rome, and those Greece balls for 300 years. Yeah? All of the lies, they love to tell lies. Everything is a lie, even from these rabbis. All of these people, they lie to the people. I went to a virtual meeting the other day. It was more of a little, it was a rabbi who was doing a little, you see, I cannot call this a expose. I cannot even call it a, what you call it, a summary of anything, because it is all lies. So I don't know what to call it. I can call it, it's just a lie. It is a lie. Okay? It is not even a class because it is a lie. But anyways, a little study group on Josephus Flavius and, the Jewish rabbi. He said Josephus Flavius was a very poor commander, a very poor leader. He defected to the Romans. Yeah, he was a Pharisee, which the Pharisees are the one who run the Sanhedrin, the temple, and are corrupting the place. They show a bust of him. He looked just like a Roman. Yeah, this is the only bust of him. Oh, of course, this is the only bust of him. Yeah, and how he wrote. He mentions about 1 or 2 books that he wrote. Josephus Flavius wrote many books. Do not play this game with I and I. Josephus Flavius wrote plenty books. The names are not coming to me right now, but he wrote plenty books. Okay, he even wrote a book about it. The title of the book is James, the Just John the Baptist. This is the title of the book that he wrote. Now listen to this. I'm going to tell you. I had to prove to you that Josephus Flavius is Judas Maccabeus. I proved these things. Judas Maccabeus from the Maccabean period. Meaning that Judas Maccabeus mentions about Jesus, Joshua, Gamaliel, high priest, doctor of the law. He was a young man that alerted Matthias, Josephus' father, of a plot to take Josephus' life. No, this rabbi didn't even mention Josephus Flavius, his father's name. Doesn't even mention that, well, yes, obviously he adopted the name Flavius. It is the name of an emperor. You have Titus Flavius, Vespasian, Titus Flavius Vespasian, and then you have Claudius Flavius. Okay, you have the Flavian period. It was the Flavian family that were the emperors of Rome, back to back. Okay. So this is how he get the name. He became a Roman citizen. They say he was a general, Roman general. No, he was a general of the Israelite. This man, rabbi, he admit that just one time throughout the entire class he mentioned, or he refers to the Hebrews as Israelites and not Jewish people or Jews. He never not once says our people. Anyway, the point is, the man is running off of his mouth, and he's talking about Josephus Flavius. But you do not mention that his father's name was Matthias. You mention his father. His father was a very prominent man. He was somehow maybe an attendant in the temple. Somehow he had some duties and functions in the temple. He was very respected. Okay, this man, very, very, very highly respected, but you cannot speak no more about the man. That's because that man is the King David before that David, who you call Josephus Flavius, who's really Judas Maccabeus, who's really Hannibal Barca, who is really Akbar the Great, they say from India. No, you just steal the history from Africa, Egypt, when you take the scrolls and you claim the story as your own. It was auctioned off to you by the Grecians and the Romans. They say here, it is in Psalm number 2. The leaders anyway, they conspire together, yes, they set themselves together against the Lord and his anointed, saying, let us cast their bands asunder and break their cords from us. Break their bands asunder and cast their cords from us. It is the same thing. It is called the yoke. Which yoke? The yoke of Esau. Esau was born first but his brother was supposed to come out first, myself, Jacob, and there was a struggle in the womb, and Esau come out first, and I come out holding the heel of Esau, which would represent the end of the age. Esau represent the beginning of the age, and I represent the end. Jacob, which means the time is going to come when things are going to switch, meaning that Esau will never stop coming for what he thinks it is. His descendants, not him. He came to a full realization that, you know what, his brother did no wrong to him. He bowed to his brother bowed to him, his brother served him as Lord. I serve my Esau as Lord. My Esau represent my Moses, and I represent the Aaron. You see, this is what that represent. And so I have to bow to my brother. I serve my brother as Lord. And he humbled himself. So, oh my God, he's truly God. Yes, I am God too, but he is God. Yes, indeed, this represent the Seth and Osiris. Yeah, you say Cain and Abel in the Bible. Okay, you know the truth now. The point is, when these figures say that Josephus Flavius, the Jewish guy, he's saying that Josephus Flavius lived at least 200 years after the Maccabean period. How is that even possible? How is that even possible? That he lived 200 years after the Maccabean period. Even if you want to say that that is true, even I'm telling you that the Maccabean period is Josephus. Josephus is the first Hasmonean king. He's Judas. Okay, what I'm saying is, you are trying to tell me that 300 years, 200 years before Josephus Flavius, that the Jews who were fighting against their main common enemy, Rome, did not encounter these Hasmonean people who were fighting against Rome. And according to your Maccabean books, it says that Judas Maccabeus invaded Rome and stayed there for 10 years and conquered them and killed their leader and then left. He crossed the Appalachian on elephants. Is what the book of Maccabees say. This is the same thing they say about Hannibal Barca and Akbar the Great. And Josephus Flavius, of course, he fight the war. It is a judgment. You are nothing but a bunch of liars. It is not possible that the Hasmoneans and the Jews did not intersect and encounter each other and actually forge an alliance against Rome. And I will tell you something else again. They say that Constantine was converted to Christianity by his cousin Eusebius, Syrian man, Eusebius, Roman Eusebius. He's Roman Israelite, Syrian blood. He's the one who converted that boy, Constantine, on his deathbed. Now I want to tell you something. Constantine is just the name that they give him. There is many emperors by the name of Constantine and Constantius. At least 3 by Constantius and 3 by Constantine. Constantine the First, the Great. He is the one they claim move New Rome or establish New Rome in Constantinople, Greece. After Rome get a deadly hand wound, the Roman Empire fell. Okay, now the only time in history we know that the Roman Empire fell to any army is when Judas Maccabeus, the Maccabeans, are the only ones that defeated the Roman Empire. This is why they split into 2. Do you understand? We are not talking about New Rome now, who even went and tried conquer Egypt, but lost to the Arabs. We are not talking about New Rome, we are talking about Rome. Fell. Judas Maccabeus struck them with a deadly head wound like a hammer, right? And this is what Akbar means. It means hammer, while Barca means lightning, like the lightning rod, Thor, and all these things. This is what they are showing you. It is an allegory, and it is also a metaphor to the power of this one. He struck them down like a hammer, like lightning, like the lightning bolt that is struck by the hammer, the iron hammer. Okay. Like I said, check it. Saying me dismantle all their lives, none of them can trick and I a bomb or rascal. Get out there and make a bag and I to the rascal judgment. Me just post something and make you know what kind of madness I go and boy. You know them can disrespect Rastafari. Me judgment all I wanna. You see me and say, bag a rascal and fuck him. The rest of them have to call police just for rascal secure the place just in case me have to deal with that boy case. Alright, you don't know. Rastafari. You see me and say, but we wiser now. We know how to deal with them case. Eh? You think me want to do that? Oh, the rascal of this. No, I'm just alert you. I never tell you for launch no investigation in nothing. 7 of them you can lock up right now. For the rascal of madness what them a do. Boy, yeah, me serious. Criminal offenses, all kind of things. Rastafari. Yes. Yes. Believe me, yo. Yeah? No believe me. You no believe you me, you believe me, you okay, you believe me, you yes, so much going on. Oh, I tell you, believe me, you no believe you me. The judgment is already confirmed and it is, fixated upon these evil people. All of you wicked people. You just wait, it is hovering over you and now. And it is going to fall very, very soon. It is going to fall with the heavens because you are going to panic when you see what is going on. Yeah, it is going to be the judgment. Yes, it is going to be the judgment. So like I'm telling you, my people, Constantine 333 AD. He was born 3 something AD. It don't matter, okay? 333 AD, him dead. Seeing the year he was converted to Catholicism. So what I'm saying is that is bullshit because no, he's not the first emperor to adopt Christianity. That is a lie. He was about the 60th emperor after Augustus Caesar, who was the first emperor to rule Rome and Jerusalem in 14 AD. Seen the year of the year of the Lord. Seen till about 400 something that drop. You see what I'm saying? But still set up them thing and still have powers. Okay. No, Constantine is not the first emperor to adopt Christianity in 333 AD. That is a lie. What we're saying is Constantine he has another name, the true Constantine. If we go through the list of Bomber Blood Clot, the Ras Clot, emperors of Rome, okay, we know that Josephus Flavius, Judas, Emmanuel was very close to the emperor of Rome. Like I said, every trad, my David trad is very close to the powers that because him have more power to them have to bow. Him trad as Bob, them have to bow. Michael Manley, you don't know, yo, the whole of them have to bow. Yes, me I say him trad as Frederick Douglass, he was very close to, those presidents, Washington and those punks. You see me, I said them have a bow. You see me, I said we'll fight the Civil War and we'll slew them. See, remember that Robert Lincoln Post, and I proved these things. Robert Lincoln Post is none other than my Aaron of that day, who set up the Black Union government, which you call the Rasclat USA, man. You have the Rasclat Confederate States, and then you have the Bomber Rasclat, the Free States. The name is not coming to me, but I'm saying he set up that Black Clat League and was the president of it, the president of the Black House. You call him Abraham Lincoln. No, it is Robert Lincoln Poston, the son of Molly Cox and Ephraim Poston. His biological brothers are Frederick Douglass, Theodore Roosevelt, yeah. Who are the next one? Ulysses Grant. These are all former presidents of the Black Union, which link up with Marcus Garvey as our Moses, who set up the Universal Negro Improvement Association, and they linked up. It was a powerhouse, and then guess who linked up with them? Myself as Robert Lincoln, or Robert, because I'm the son of Aaron, I don't know. Robert Athelai Rogers, who set up the Afro-Anglican constructive church known as the House of Galilee, and I wrote the Holy PB, which is the Black Man Bible. And that thing there, my people, read it and open up their eyes to the truth, and those who accept it, ingenious ideas and inventions came to their minds. This was the epoch when black people created all of those inventions. We're talking about Black Wall Street, Tulsa. We're talking about, we won the Civil War. How do you think we win the Civil War? We must have had an army. Black people win the Civil War against the Confederate States. Who know I deal with? Who know I deal with? Okay, then my people, because we won the war now, my people thought that they were free now and them get a whole heap of money now and blessed, and now guess what? Them get lazy now. And then, the enemies Rome and them come in and take over now. They had their wars and thing, and them start, draft people to war. Enough black man got war, enough white man got war. When the white man them come back, them see black man I run business and I make good money and thing, and them say, yo, differently, KKK, we have to run this, we have to take over this. That's what happened. And my people got lazy after Marcus Garvey get deported to Jamaica. The people them just forget about Wagwan. Them just say, yo, forget it. We're nice. We're free here. They got comfortable. So guess what? My gods left them, including myself. We left them. We returned to Zion. Henrietta Lincoln Vinton, or Henrietta Vinton Davis, and I Miriam of that day, left. She was named president of the UNIA when Marcus Garvey wasn't there. And even when Prophet Moses was there, she's the vice president of the UNIA. Yes, she represents Miriam. Well, I make a trad, Frederick Douglass make a trad, Poston make a trad, I make a trad, Henrietta Vinton make a trad. We all tried it, man. See? Yeah. And then when we returned, we landed in Jamaica. Yeah, as Leonard Howell, as Joseph Hibbert, he's Mr. Poston, yeah, as Archibald Dunkley, yeah, or I should say my Alexander Bedard, who is I Moses, most natural, yeah, actually he's I Aaron, first. And yeah, we set up in Jamaica and then just keep returning in Jamaica. Yeah, we set up our houses. They were more like black Afro-Christian houses, man. Rebellious houses, man. And the rebellion, this, you understand? And then we make a trad. You know where we make a trad? We make a trad home to Africa. Yes, as Idi Amin Dada, as, Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana, Jomo Kenyatta, that's my David. Yeah, we set up now again. Most natural, we set up again, man. Patrice Lumumba at the Congo. You see what they did to him? He represents the Christ, the Aran. You see, most natural, Rastafari. Most of Aaron tried, them think them kill Aaron, them not kill him, Like when them think them kill Robert Lincoln Post and Pan ship with that kind of poisonous food that they had on the ships with them, that because, our people sell out and things, so our people are going and getting poisonous food from them to come and feed the people them on the ship. And so guess what? People get sick on the ship, them things are them dead. No, they flew away home. Henrietta Vinton Davis got sick on a trip that I took with Robert Lincoln Poston to Africa. You understand? They say that them get sick, and then they make them try. It is a judgment. You see? Anyways, we set up our government in Africa same way. You see what I'm saying? Bigger judgment, link up with the emperor himself, or bigger judgment. You don't know. And then, well, my people in Africa, they're not ready for this. Alright, but we planted the seeds, and then we forward to Jamaica again, as well, before we tried to Africa, we can't forget Rathbone and just Prince Emmanuel Charles Edwards remained in Jamaica, but then forward in the person of Lumumba. But I'm saying that before we trod. Go to Africa. Seen we did trod as well. I was Robert Lincoln Post and still trodding, or Robert Atterley Rogers still trodding, and I changed my name into Robert Hans, and I moved to Jamaica and set up the house, the King of Kings house. You see what I'm saying? So you don't know Leonard Howell forward again as Rasborn and just my David, seeing Joseph Hibbert forward as Prince Emmanuel. Prince Emmanuel remain in Jerusalem dear. Okay, you don't know Robert Lincoln or Robert Post and Robert Atterley Isel, you don't know, forward as Kwame Nkrumah, seeing Rasborn just forward as Jomo Kenyatta. Idi Amin Dada is I Archibald Dunkley, seeing. But what me I say now is after Africa was forward to Jamaica as me Bob Marley, right, me Kenyatta, you don't know, Kwame Nkrumah, I myself as Jacob Miller, you don't know, me have me Peter Tosh as me Idi Amin Dada, most natural. It's just a continuous trod scene. Continuous trod, man. Yeah. Forward rise up in, Sugar, Barrington Minot, as a practical thing, set up this thing, you don't know, get a youth thing, alright. Now forward. Here we are. Damien, Aston, Sizzler, myself, Tisha, yeah. You don't know Jack Khalifa, the fire still blazing. See me I say, me I try to tell Uno say, he's a continuous trad, you see me I say, and I eternal trad. So I don't know how Uno sit down here and I talk about, or Uno seek God and I talk about Jesus and call upon Jesus or any God and all these things. When I mean, your Bible tell you, all your books tell you that God is a living God. He's going to come, he's here, he's with you, he's among you. So how Uno just go around that, Uno just caught up in the illusion now and think say, well, yeah, I guess you think you can be it. Anyway, the judgment. Constantine, the emperor of Rome, the man they say converted Rome to Christianity. It's all bullshit, yeah. Another, crucial point, yeah, in this judgment, yeah, is that I told you already who the three wise kings are. Seen, I told you already it's Emperor Ella Amida of Ethiopia and his twin sons. Seeing myself as Ezana, Anna, and my brother Shezana. You see what I'm saying? Atbeha and Abreha. You understand what I'm saying? These are the three wise kings. Okay, the three wise kings did not live during that time, the 4th century. Do you understand? They lived during the time of Christ's birth. So then we have to go forward to 33 AD. Someone said 36 AD, between 33 36 AD. Okay. Well, then the three wise kings visited during that time. It's in the historical records in Ethiopia that it was during that time. But you see, Uno love tell lie. So no have to tell a bag of rascal lie. This is proof. No, Constantine could not have lived during the 4th century. That is a bumbleclot lie. Sin. Well, I don't know. In this blood clot judgment. Yeah. I just want you to understand what is going on. You remember Rome, she get a big judgment, yeah? She get a bigger judgment. Nothing not change. Nothing not change. Rome. Yeah, no Rome, I know the Rome. All the Rome, I forgot down first at judgment. Same. The years 54 to 68 AD or CE or BCE, whatever. Zine. That is the reign of Nero, who died in 1968, or the year 68 CE. Okay, well, what we're saying is that's when the temple fell. The temple fell the year he died, 68 AD, some say 70 AD, whatever. The point is that after him was Galba. He reigned between the year 68 69, and then Otho, who reigned in the year 69, and then Aulus Vitellius, okay, 69. And then came the Flavian dynasty from 6980 to 9680. And the first is Vespasian, the second Titus, okay, right, but Titus was also a Vespasian. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, this is one list. You go up on the next list, look, this is one list. Rasclat, what site was that? Okay, I don't even know what site was that. But this one's a Gate Bible Study. Okay? A Gate Bible Study. I just try to show you something. Or them love tell rasclat lie. See? Okay, here it says Titus was after Vespasian. The point is that Titus was also known as a Vespasian Flavius. You see what I'm saying? He was known as a Bomber Rascal Flavius. You see? And Josephus Flavius, in his writings, he said that he foretold that he would become the emperor. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is Josephus is the one who conquered Rome. You see what I'm saying? So which would mean that the emperor after Titus or Vespasian, most likely was after Vespasian. You want to say a Titus, whatever. He is the one with them called Constantine. See, he's the one them called Constantine. Well on there. Look, now I'm going through another list, and for some reason they have a different name, different list. See, Rastafari. Here we go again. It is important to know these things because Babylon is going to fall. Babylon is going to fall, I tell you. Huh? Yes, they have to fall. Rastafari. So here we go again. No, this is another list of Roman emperors. Okay, hold on a sec. Okay. Nero, who was also called Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus. Okay, because they conquered Germany. See, Rome conquered Germany, so them take the name. Okay, right. And then, look, like what the heck? Vespasian, okay, who was the fourth after Nero. Vespasian, Caesar, Vespasian, Augustus. Then we have Titus, Caesar, Vespasianus, Augustus. Okay, some say it is Titus who, Titus is who, he was also a Flavius, them say. This Vespasian, and this is how he take the name Flavius. You see what I'm saying? But look here now, they show you that the Flavian dynasty now, okay, remember Titus is 79 to 81 AD, okay, now we're looking for the Flavius dynasty on this list. You understand what I'm saying? And we're in the year 218. Emperor Elagabal, Caesar M. Aurelius, Antonius Augustus, okay, and no Flavius yet. Okay, we're still going down. We're looking for this Flavius dynasty. According to this list, there are no Flaviuses. Okay, according to this list, there is not one Flavius on the Bombarasclat list. Okay, this is data from Fergus Miller, the emperor in the Roman world. This is his data, you know. Okay, 31 BC to 337 AD, man. Okay, Ithaca, New York, 1977, and A.H.M. Jones, The Decline of the Ancient World. London, New York, 1966. Essential is today diameter or diet Marcanist. I don't know, I guess this is another author. Romeich Kerskil, this is Dutch, I guess, 1996. So this is a list that is it is a list that is accepted as the official rascal list of Roman empires. From you got London Times, you have Blood Clot New York, Athaka 1977, and A.H.M. Jones Zine, okay, and it's dated from Fergus Miller, the emperor in the Roman world. Okay, so emperors from Augustus to Constantine. Okay, I want to stop the rascal madness. So me I prove to honor that so there's not even any Flavius dynasty. Do you understand? So then you'd have to question yourself and ask yourself, what name was Flavius really known as? Josephus Vespasian? Huh? Because I'm saying that is it possible that the reason why they did that, the reason why them not have Josephus' name under the right emperor is because they don't want you to know what time it took place. So them invent about the Flavius emperors, the Flavius dynasty, which apparently it never existed. But what I'm saying is, you see, listen, I'm not telling a lie. Me do my research, and I've never heard of any other Flavius emperors, because they say it's a dynasty. So if it's a dynasty, then where are the other Flavius emperors? But it's like they're trying to say there was one emperor who was a Flavius, and the other ones, no, they took other names. Zane, wanna watch out for them and them bag of fuckery. It's the same thing with Paul and Gamaliel. You see me, I say, look, even on this list, they say the Flavian dynasty. Okay, this is the Flavian dynasty. This is another list, okay, and this is from Bombakla. Where is this? Where is this? I don't even know what website this is. List of Roman empires. Twinkle. No L-E at the end, just a L. Okay, it says the Flavian dynasty was between the years 69 and 96 AD. But guess what? It doesn't say nothing about Flavius. It just says the Flavian dynasty. Oh, they're Flavians now, not Flaviuses. Okay, Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. Between, let's just say Vespasian reigned till 79 AD. Okay, and then Titus took over till 81, and then from 81 to 96, Domitian. Okay, right. They're known as the Flavian dynasty. Okay, then you have the Nerva Antoine dynasty. Okay, Nerva, Tikhon, Hadrian, Antonius. Okay, different years. Okay, they never took the name Antonian. Exactly. So the Bumbuckler now going like I said, just because one man have a name, you won't even say that this is the dynasty or the family name that they all take the name. When they become emperors, they take different names. When they become emperors, they take different names. Either way. See? So, anyhow, just a little, run down the judgment. And I mean, so sabbatical vibes will just come through it. So, give thanks and praises to me and Sarah Rastafari. So, it's like a little study for the item still. Because, it's not all this judgment. Sometimes we always touch in the studies. Maybe let them know what I'm going. But here we are, so now. And the boy I ran off him off me for judgment. The boy him said David cursed him, sin. He the baby that Bathsheba had for him when he had sex with her after he saw her, and then he found out that Urias is her husband. He had sex with her, and so the baby was born dead. Saying, yes, it's true. It is a judgment because Moses hid or told his servants them to hide the scrolls, the Torahs, in caves, and future generations will find them. Well, in David's day, they didn't find the scrolls yet. See, so David did not know that it was a sin to sleep with another man's wife and all these things. He didn't know it like that. He seen himself as God on earth and he can do what he want, but still he was trying to do the right thing with Urias, who made a shame of himself and his wife. Remember, this boy never got beard up himself when my David told him to go beard up himself after he found out David was Urias's. He didn't listen to David when the king told him to go wash up after David found out that he is Bathsheba's husband. The thing is, do you know for a fact, just because it says in that book there, that book you call the Bible, which we know them, they started that David slept with her before he met with the man? Is it possible that David met with the man? But I think David actually did sleep with her, and then still John never cursed him for that, He just told him, say, yo, youth, listen, it's a sin still to me, to sleep with another man's wife, And the thing is that the wages of sin is death, even though it's not your sin, it's going to fall on your son. Do you understand? Because I can't call it your sin if you didn't know about it. Do you understand? But this is the wages of this sin. It is truly a sin, my David. And David learned from that. You understand what I'm saying? And so the child was born dead, but Jah did not curse David or tell David, say, your generations will be cursed, or you're lucky me not kill your youth because you send the boy out there upon the front line. He said he wants to be David's bodyguard. That's why he didn't listen to David when David told him to go wash up. He stayed by the steps of the damn temple. He slept there until the next morning when David was going to call a little feast and banquet. Zine. And then David told his guards, don't go and tell nobody that he didn't listen to me. And he told him, why didn't you listen to me? And he said, because I'm your loyal servant. I have to protect you. I couldn't leave your side, David. So David said, okay, well, we're going to have a little banquet and I'm going to send you away. Send you away somewhere nice, man. Don't worry yourself, man. Just humble your damn self and then maybe you will return eventually. But I can't have you in my realm right now after what you did. And he ate and drank and then slept with David's maidservants in their beds in his palace. And so then David said to Nathan, put him out there on the front line because he wants to act like as if he could protect me. So make sure you can protect me and my Bumbleclad nation and yourself. Him end up dead. Have him judgment that if you want to be David's Bumbleclad closest bodyguard, man, and you're saying you want to defend the nation, then you don't know you have to make a sacrifice and go up on the front line, and you better be one of the best Bumbleclad warriors out there. No. So me tell the boy shut up and he couldn't say nothing. Just like Paul mentions in the book of Acts in chapter 22, yeah, and in chapter 5 he mentions that Gamaliel was the young man. He was a doctor of the law, and when the Pharisees, the Sanhedrin, they wanted to kill the disciples because the disciples were saying that they're not going to stop preaching the doctrine of Christ and the resurrection. They were going to kill them. It says that the priest, the elders tore their robes, and it was Gamaliel, the doctor of the law, who stepped in and said to them, no, think about what you're doing right now. It is a judgment. Remember what was happening in times past. Gamaliel, Joshua, Gamaliel, Christ. So even in the book of Acts right there, they show you that I was there amongst them. What you're saying that they didn't know who I was? Of course they knew who I was. I was the doctor of the law. Do you understand? So the thing is that the crucifixion didn't take place at that time yet. In Acts, them kind of rearranged things. The book of, well, some of the Gospels should be inserted within the book of Acts. But what we're saying is that Gamaliel is as Joshua, who in the book of Acts in chapter 22, he calls Ayana Gamaliel and then says, well, it was Ananias who gave me my sight. But he says that he learned at the foot of Gamaliel, who was the doctor of the law. He learned the truth through him, Gamaliel, who is Joshua, yes, I myself, right? And then afterwards it says that, well, he was blinded on the road by the Lord, but then he asked the Lord, who are you? And the Lord said, well, I am Jesus Christ, because this is my first person talking to him, letting him know that his second person is in the earth. Okay. And then he said, oh, my Lord, Joshua, Gamaliel. And then he went to his house and he learned at high feet as Joshua Gamaliel. Well, you don't know. The book of Acts changed her name to Ananias and then says it was Ananias who restored Paul's sight, which is true, for I am Ananias, seen, and I am Gamaliel, seen, and I am Christ. So you have to know, they take you all the time. Anyways, the thing is that it is clear that according to Paul, he met me on the road and I blinded him. Exactly. And you know what the name Ananias means? It means son of Apollo. Could you imagine that? It means the son of Apollo. Yeah, Apollo, who is the same man that was killed by the great sword by Akbar the Great, or Hannibal Barca, or Judas Maccabeus, or Josephus Flavius, or Emmanuel. It is the same one, Apollonius. It is in the book of Revelation. It happened in the real time, is what I am telling you. It tells you that he went to the land, the conquering land, he went and he conquered them, and he gave Rome a deadly head wound. It is in the book of Revelation exactly what transpired. You see what I'm saying? Yes, it is all in the real time. We have been down this road before. Yes. Now, the word Apollo, well, it's not the word, it is who Apollo is. Apollo is an asteroid as well, okay? But it is the Greek and Roman god of sunlight, prophecy, music, and poetry. So you can see why they call him Ananias, because Apollo is a Greek name for God. But then, they juxtapose and trick you and then turn this Apollos into their false God, who is the Antichrist. Do you understand what I'm saying? Apollonius is the Antichrist according to the book of Revelation. He had a great sword and he was killed with a great sword by who? Judas Maccabeus. It is in the book of Maccabeus. He killed him and his name is Apollo. He killed him with a great sword. Hannibal Barca, according to his narrative, the name of the man he killed with the great sword is Scipius Africanus, the man who they say conquered North Africa and is the first man to call Alkebulan, the continent, Africa. It was named after him. You see, and then they trick you. Yeah, they trick you. Anyhow, here Rastafari. You see me, I said, the thing just turned up loud right now. My son boys are busting up. One of them is busting up. He's going, the fix, the feed. Yes, the golden altar maker today. And you'll see what is going on. Your last one was kind of low. I was using my headphones. You just have to turn it up. That's all you gotta do is turn it up and listen keenly. So, take your time and listen to the truth. Listen to the word of Jah from the word of Jah, the living word of Jah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the fire. Anyways, you already know. Heard of Andrew Holness. He can't enter the U.S. Embassy in the States, and one of his flights were canceled to return to Jamaica because he was in the States, pushing this agenda here, the fruity tutti agenda, man. Yep, yep. Hey, boy, you just wait for it. Got something strapped to your head. You call the election. Goodbye. But you're still being a very, very bad boy, and so you're gonna get the judgment. You hear that? Yeah, boy, you gonna get the judgment, man. Yeah, man. Yep. I tell you. Anyways, it is crazy. Yeah, they have to clean up Nova Scotia. Yeah, it is the hyperdrive Nova Lodge. Yes, the delimited digs after reality mega hyperdrive Nova Lodge. Yes, so Nova Scotia guy, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't know, I mean. Like I tell you already, the magnetic North Pole is right here, right above me here in Montreal. The Royal Mount, the Mount Royal, Mount Royal. Yes, I tell you, but the North Pole, or true north, is in the Arctic. It is out there. Yeah? Anyways, my people, Rastafari, this is more like a little study still, you're Rastafari. One other thing before I got, you read the New Testament and it tells you in the books of, in the Acts and the Romans and in the books of Paul, which were found before the other Gospels, they were found first, the books of Paul. Well, Paul calls I and I Gamaliel in the book of Acts, chapter 5. Yeah, I tell you. And then again in the book of Acts, chapter 22. Yes. And you know what else? Which books were also found around the same time as Paul? Not that they were found, they were always there. What am I talking about? From they were written in that time. We're talking, 68 AD going up to like maybe 100. 100 is AD, around that time. Josephus Flavius, my Emmanuel, my King David, he wrote many books about these things. So it's not like to say you could hide this truth. Many people know about him and respected him, and had many good things to say about him, including people who lived during the time, emperors and stuff like that. None of them would say that he was a bad leader, a poor leader, and all of these things, and that he defected his people and all of these things, and that he sided with Rome. They respect the man because he fought for his people. He conquered Rome. What are you talking about? This is why his books are so respected. He's a king, a conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Nobody can erase what he wrote. They just tried to distort it and turn it into something else. And they would even say, oh, maybe the Christians, the Romans, they tampered with the book because he's saying things that only Christians would say, such as Yahshua Gamaliel is the Christ. He didn't say Christ. In another book, they do not say Gamaliel, but he says, yes, the Christ exists. He was there in the time, and he says that, yes, he is truly the Christ and the Son of God and all of these things. According to him, as a Pharisee, a Jew, he's not going to say that. No, you're not going to say that. So they say, oh, the book was tampered. No, stupid people, it is a new time. And he met this Joshua Gamaliel. He says he met him, and that a lot box was cast because they had to cast a new vote. They wanted a new priest in there, Matthias, and he's the one who win the vote, and that the lot box was cast out of gold. Well, this is the same lot box in the book of Acts. It says that it was a vote casted, and that, Matthias won. Exactly. And remember, they tried to kill the disciples, and the same Gamaliel was the doctor of the law. Stand up for them and say, no, you cannot touch them. And they had to stand down. Yes, I tell them, leave them alone. And they say, okay, we are not going to touch them because we know you will do something to us. When you go know what you will do, you have an army. Ooh, what is going to happen? I tell them. Anyway, my point is that Paul and Josephus Flavius, King David, mention this Gamaliel, as the doctor of the law, You go to the history, there's only one young man who is the doctor of the law, and it is me as the Messiah, Joshua Gamaliel, who you call Jesus Christ, Joshua Messiah. It is the same one. So okay, if we have two books before the Bible that mention this Gamaliel and all of these things, you have to look into that and know, okay, they are speaking about him, and it is him. Me. Yes, I. Yeah. I am saying that in the books of Paul, he mentions that he set out on a quest to go to Rome to confront the emperor. Yeah. Now the thing is this. Remember, the Herodians and them, they captured him and they wanted to kill him, and he said, this is how you treat a Roman. They say, what? This is how you treat a Roman. You are a Roman. And he said, yes, I am a Roman. I was born in Roman. Yes, indeed, I was. What of the tribe of Benjamin, but I was born in Rome. Okay, you are a Roman citizen. Yes, I'm a Roman citizen. And so they had to let him go. Okay, they let him go. Exactly. And he entered into Rome. He was in Rome. Yes, and they wanted to kill him. People wanted to kill him in Rome, and he had to preach to them. Some Jewish people wanted to kill him because his life was in danger. They wanted to kill him. This was during the time of Emperor Nero. This is before the temple fell. Okay, the Bible, it is upside down when it comes to the book of the Gospels and the book of Acts. The book of the Gospels should be within the book of Acts. All of them, the Gospels should be within the book of Acts. Yes. And the acts of what? The acts of what took place, the judgment. Oh, yes. All of these things taking place. Yeah, the Lord box and all of these things, and then Christ, I and I no longer high priest. But I go in there with I and I crew, and I take down the eagle standard, and this is what caused the destruction of the temple. Remember, they killed James. Josephus Flavius mentions this. They killed James first. Two idiots, they pushed him down off of the high altar. They were not supposed to do it, but they did it. Okay? And so therefore, now I became the high priest now. Yes, because James is my uncle. You understand? James is the brother of John the Baptist. Yes, indeed, he's also the brother of... No, James is the brother of the Christ, who is Josephus Flavius Emmanuel. He's his biological brother, while they are cousins to John the Baptist. Emmanuel Josephus was born 6 months before John the Baptist. It is in your Bible. Okay, I tell you already that John the Baptist anointed too. He anointed my King David, and then he anointed me. And it is in your Bible. Yes. The point is that Paul never got to Rome. According to the Bible, he never got to Rome. He got to Rome, but he never got to meet the emperor. Those that say what happened, did he meet Emperor Caesar? Who is really Emperor Caesar Nero? Yes, he did meet Emperor Nero, and I tell you what happened. He meet with Paul in Rome, and they confront Emperor Nero. And remember, Bar Jews, who is, the man who was claiming to be Christ and God in one, Christ and Emmanuel in one. You remember this man? They call him Baljuice. He became the first Pope of Rome under Emperor Nero. What is his real name? Simon Magus is his real name. He has a statue at the Tiberias River when he fell to his death. He fell to his death. I already tell you the story. He tried to fly in the sky. He tried to, he had a little standoff with my Peter and Paul. He tried to demonstrate his powers, and my Peter cast him down, and he fell to his death. See? Yes, yes. Let's see, do I have time? I see if I take the time to look up when this man fell to his death. It was around that time, 68 AD, because it was before the fall of the temple. 67 AD, 68 AD, 68 AD. Seen. So, my people, it is prophecy that is unfolding again today. But, it is a new time. One of us stay vigilant and ever diligent, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, not trust none of them out there. Know what you want to do with yourself. We're not a blood clot judgment. It's just a little study, little touch up for your realms. Them, you see me, I say, Rastafari live and reign. A bigger judgment in the earth. You already know. You see what I'm saying? Me tell you no. Next time when I'm going to hear from me, you hear this boy, them cancel him flight. I'm have to pay him more money, and he can, in the States now, they don't see him as a diplomat anymore. Them strip him of him titles, them, this boy Andrew Hornes, just fly out of Jamaica or fly out of the States, go back to your country, boy, because you don't want to legalize the thing. You put up a fight. Yeah, this is what's going on. So what? Obviously, the clown's gonna cave in eventually, right? Oh, for sure. Listen to me. It is the judgment. Rastafari love when you see me and say, when just shine bright and know I go on and just know say, we're in the Java Gavel. Yes, we are. So you can expect that gavel to strike. Yeah, you see, like when I'm talking about my Josephus Flavors, my Akbar Igris, my Hannibal Baka. Yeah, my Emmanuel. Yeah, you see how I'm talking about my Judas Maccabeus? Yes, he's the man. He's going to strike. He's my Damien today. It was his birthday 3 days ago. Yeah. Monsai Jah, Rastafari Emperor, Rastafari, I heard there just yesterday. You're saying, so in it. Yeah, Rastafari. So you stay alive, my zealots. So yes.